And that's because of the way that we process our food here, because what just happened? We all want to look a little bit younger, right? Well, here's 10 things you need to stop eating or drinking that can make you look 10 years younger, because by eating these things, it is messing with your metabolism, your skin, your hair, and even your bones. Hey, gorgeous girl, if you're new here, I'm Tracy. I'm 49 years old. I'm mom to a 4-year-old, and I've been a certified Pilates instructor, personal trainer, and health coach for over 25 years. So please do consider subscribing if you're new here. Everybody click on that bell icon and leave me a comment to let me know that you're here and if you're new. Let's dive right in. So we all know that soda is not good for us, and diet soda. But did you know that by drinking soda, even a diet soda, it can lead to a process called glycation? That basically means that sugar molecules attached to proteins. And that causes skin to lose its elasticity and cause wrinkles. And none of us want that, right? So definitely pass on the soda, pass on the diet soda. As a menopausal woman myself, my bone density and bone health is really becoming increasingly important to me. And the phosphoric acid that's in soda can leach calcium from your bones. And when we're in menopause, that's actually already happening naturally. So this is even more reason to ditch the soda and the diet soda from your life completely. If you want to avoid premature aging and decrease bone density, there's no soda, no mas. So what should you be replacing your soda with? I would say water is the #1 thing. Just drink regular water. Sometimes I make an herbal tea, or in the morning, as you probably know, I'm a huge fan of AG1. I drink AG1 in the morning because I love its blend of prebiotics, probiotics, and phytonutrients. It really helps to boost my energy. I love that AG1 helps to support my gut brain, gut skin, and gut immune function. So if you haven't already tried AG1, this is your sign to check it out now. I will leave a link down below in the description box for you to check out AG1 too. There's so much that you can learn about AG1 and all the amazing health benefits from drinking AG1 each day. Now, this might sound a little bit crazy, but especially if you're a health girly like me, we like to find out what are the cutting trends, what are the nutritional superfoods, what are some kind of hot powerhouse foods that we should be incorporating in our diets. And chia seeds have been a buzzword for years. You know, in fact, I think it was almost 10 years ago I did my first video about chia seeds. However, you should not be eating unsoaked chia seeds. I see people adding them to their little smoothie bowls or their smoothies all the time, and I'm always like, no, stop it! Here's why. Unsoaked chia seeds can absorb moisture from your body, potentially causing dehydration. And that dehydration can lead to dry skin and premature aging. And I don't know about you, but that is the last thing that I want to experience. I've also heard horror stories, and I'm not sure about the validity of these, but I've heard that unsoaked chia seeds can actually get stuck in your digestive tract as well. So that's enough reason for me to just lay off the unsoaked chia seeds. I do love chia seeds. I think that they're a great source of protein. They're a great source of fiber. They're rich in omegas, but you definitely want to soak them first before consuming them. There's also naturally occurring phytic acid in chia seeds, and when they're unsoaked, that can actually inhibit the absorption of certain vitamins and minerals. I'm talking things like calcium, magnesium, and zinc. And especially if you're in menopause or you're a little bit older, we need to protect our bones. We need to protect our bone health. So if you want to maintain a youthful appearance, chia seeds are fantastic, but you got to make sure that you're soaking them. You know, I love making a chia pudding. It's rich, it's chocolatey, and I love that it's loaded with protein, it's loaded with fiber, and it's loaded with omegas, which are really helpful to support a youthful appearance. So make ssure that if you're eating chia seeds, you gotta soak them. Now, back in the day, I was the hugest candy addict. I mean, candy was like where it's at. I have such a vision of myself in the 90s rollerblading to the candy place where they had those bins of candies, and my favorites were always Swedish fish. But you could not pay me now to eat Swedish fish, because now we know that they are loaded with not only simple sugars, but also food dyes, and food dyes are really harmful to our body. Food dyes have been linked to skin issues and potential allergic reactions, and as a mom to a 4-year-old, they've also linked food dyes to some behavioral problems in kids. So no wonder my sister and I were kind of crazy when we were younger. But also food dyes can potentially accelerate the aging process. And by now you likely know that sugar is known to cause inflammation. It obviously is not good for our metabolism. It makes our blood sugar get a big spike, which, especially in menopause and as we get older, we want to keep our blood sugar as balanced as possible. And inflammation is associated with accelerated aging and skin problems. So if you want to keep a youthful glow, you want to feel slim, you want to feel strong, and you want to feel healthy, stay away from candy and artificial food dyes. Well, we have a little scene change because I think I just had like a little power surge or something, so I had to move out of my kitchen. I don't know, my generator might be on, maybe you can hear it, but let's keep going. So the next thing that you want to eliminate from your diet is what I like to call crappy bread. So how many of you have experienced where you go on vacation, let's say specifically you go to Europe, and you cannot tolerate gluten in the United States, but when you go to Europe, you're like, I can eat pizza, I can eat pasta, I can eat all the bread. Not only do I not have any gluten responses, but I don't gain weight, I don't get bloated, I feel actually great. That's because of the way we process bread here, unfortunately, in the United States. Highly processed white bread, it lacks essential nutrients and fiber, and all of that can lead to blood sugar spikes, which we know we want to avoid and can accelerate our aging. And the high glycemic index of regular white bread can cause accelerated glycation, which, as you know, can decrease our skin elasticity. So basically, especially if you're in the United States, if you're gonna eat bread, make sure that you're eating something that's organic, sprouted grain, maybe gluten-free if you don't tolerate gluten, but really you wanna have fiber-rich bread that is not crazy processed, where they're not adding all these crazy ingredients into it, so that it's very simple. You know, a hot tip here in Miami, when my husband, like it's a weekend or something, I have no problem with him getting bread, but just going to a local bakery where I know their ingredients are really simple, they take pride and care in their ingredients. So source around in your area, and if you're in Europe, you've got it so much easier than us. If you want to look 10 years younger, avoid anything marketing itself as fat-free. Unless it's naturally occurring fat-free, do not eat fake fat-free food. I am a girl that was thriving in the 90s, and I ate fat-free everything. Fat-free yogurt, fat-free cheese, fat-free cookies, fat-free everything. We remember those days, right? Well, we all felt like crap, and we all looked like crap, because what were they replacing the fat with? You guessed it, sugar. And fat is really healthy for our body. You know, healthy fats are what give us that suppleness to our skin, that give us that glow, and that having a little bit of fat on your face, it creates a more youthful appearance. So if you want to look younger and have that youthful glow, avoid anything that's marketing itself as fat-free, and you want to incorporate more healthy fats, things like coconuts, avocados, olive oil into your diet more, because that's what gives you that skin glow. It helps to promote good elasticity in your skin, and it keeps you satisfied longer. So bonus points, it's probably also going to help your metabolism, because you're going to be eating real food and you're going to feel satisfied. If any of you have seen that TikTok, there's that comedian who does those things with his little microphone. He's like, it was the 90s. But if you lived in the 90s, how many of you remember Snackwells? Well, Snackwells were cookies that we used to eat by the sleeve. And I don't have to tell you that that is not a healthy thing. Again, because they were marketed as fat-free, they were loaded with artificial ingredients and artificial sugar. So anything that you're mindlessly eating, or eating by the sleeve, or eating by the bag, I would say eliminate that from your life. You know, in my weight loss program, Your Hottest Body Ever, I always tell my students inside of it, you know, eat with a little level of elegance. What I mean by that is, if you are eating mindlessly, let's say like popcorn at the movies, or sitting on your couch watching TV, or anything where you're shoveling your arm into a bag, there's nothing chic, there's nothing elegant about that. Have a little bit of class. Put it in a dish, and so that you are actually portion controlling your food. It's such a simple thing, but it makes a huge difference on your waistline, and at the end, it's gonna help you look a little bit younger, because someone that is stronger, that is healthier, that is fit, you are just automatically gonna be shaving a few years off of your body. Now, I'm not saying too thin either. I've talked about this in other videos as well. We don't wanna be so slim where we have no fat on our face. That also can make you look older, but if you wanna look healthy, you wanna look fit, and you wanna really feel your best, Eat with a little bit of elegance. Portion control your food a little bit so that you are actually mindfully eating as opposed to shoveling in. Another thing to stop eating is frozen yogurt. You know, frozen yogurt, a lot of this was another thing. I used to rollerblade to get my frozen yogurt too back in the day. But you know, the truth is you're better off eating ice cream, and here's why. They eliminate the fat in frozen yogurt. So what do they replace it with? You guessed it, more sugar. And because there is no fat, there is not that feeling of being satisfied on your tongue and in your body. And so then you end up eating more, larger quantities of this sugar-filled, really empty nutrition item as opposed to just having a scoop of ice cream. I'd rather, if you're going to eat ice cream, get the best quality ice cream you can find. You know, get something local, get something organic, get your favorite flavor. But I'm telling you, you will eat less of it because you will be more satisfied. And this one should come as no surprise, but give up the, what I like to call, drunken fast food. You know, when I was younger and when our bodies were a little bit more resilient, I used to, at the end of a night of imbibing, I would go to McDonald's and get like a cheeseburger and some fries and wash it all down with a Diet Coke. We all know that that is not where it's at, but you also want to just be careful. You know, there's always what I like to call sexy marketing, even in health food stores on food. So your best bet to really look and feel your best and to have a more youthful appearance is to eat real food with ingredients you can pronounce that are as less packaging as possible, but where it's really easy for you to understand what the heck you're eating. Let go of the fast food. Now, I'm not saying I never eat fast food, but when I do, I try to make sure it's a little bit higher quality. You know, I had friends that came from Italy and they'd never been in the United States, and they were like, we know it's crazy, but we want to go to McDonald's. I took them to McDonald's and I could not believe it. Do it for yourself as an experience. Like, eat that food and see how you feel after. I remember I had a stomach ache, I didn't feel good, I had sugar cravings almost immediately, and I was like, wow, this stuff is powerful. So if you're gonna eat something that's grab and go, there's so many kind of fast casual places where you can get a good salad or a good protein and some sides, you know, no matter where you live. Always make best choices. And I'm not saying you will never eat fast food, but don't make it a daily staple to your diet if you wanna look and feel your best. All that fast food, it's so high in fat, it's so high in salt, so it can bloat you, it can dehydrate you, and it's higher in sugar, which also leads to inflammation, which accelerates our aging. So it's not for us. And my last one for you is something that I actually used to recommend, and I'm so happy to say this. You know, nutrition, relatively speaking, is a newer science, and there's always new updates and ingredients that maybe we thought were like, oh, this is great for you, and then you realize later, it's actually not so great. And that is artificial sweeteners, but also agave. Agave is natural, but research has shown that agave spikes your blood sugar much higher than just regular sugar. So if you want to sweeten your food or your drinks, you know, obviously do so mindfully, but you could use maple syrup, which is a great natural sweetener, or one of my favorites is liquid organic stevia. I prefer the liquid because I just feel like I have a little bit more control about how much I put into my food or my drinks. I love my matcha with a couple drops. I use 6 drops of liquid stevia, and in my coffee in the morning, I use 4 drops. You know, I just noticed that I can really pinpoint how much I put in it. That also helps our taste buds because I'm not training my taste buds to want sweet, sweet, sweet all the time. So if you are using agave, or if you're using still like a Splenda, Sweet and Low, or something like that, I would switch it out to maple syrup, some honey, or liquid organic stevia instead. Thank you for sticking with me and all my technological issues here today, but this was so important. I wanted to just keep going and to share this powerful information with you. You know, eating well does not have to be complicated, and looking your best is something that all of us deserve at any age and any stage of life. You know, if weight loss is your goal, I do have a masterclass that I'd love to invite you into. So I will leave all the description down below in the description box. You can find it by just clicking on the more underneath the title, and you'll see everything right there. So I will see you there. And if you want to keep hanging with me here on YouTube, make sure to check out this video next, where I share what I eat in a day as a menopausal woman. I'll see you there.